The Coinceras channel is pleased to have you back. Good day, everyone. The SEC has taken legal action by opposing Ripple's move to strike new expert material. Right off the beginning, I'll tell you that Ripple is basically accusing the SEC of lying about a specific witness to the judge. Judge Nembhard's decision to clarify, I am describing it as like my words not repulsed because I believe that the SEC, those scumbag attorneys, are up to no good. On a regular basis, they say things that are obviously false. I'm going to say it like I see it. On the other hand, Ripple's attorney is plainly considerably more, professional. But listen, the court could find against the SEC for failing to comply with discovery rules if Judge Nembhard determines that the SEC acted unlawfully here again. And I'll fill you in on all the details on the implications of that. Since this is quite noteworthy, I will also provide a brief overview of it. More recently, it transpired earlier today. See the headline below the screen. This is a CNBC video. Changpeng Zhao, founder of Binance, was given a 4-month prison sentence following a plea deal. I am not providing financial advice and have no prior experience in the field. Please understand this before we continue. Absolutely, without a doubt, do not let anything I say influence your purchasing or selling decisions. It's just for fun and as a pastime. I'm just an enthusiast that enjoys making films on cryptocurrency on YouTube. Obviously, you are free to leave if you are unhappy. Very well, I guess we can quickly address this. See, I'm trying to get to the thing about Ripples as soon as possible, but hold on a second. The billionaire founder is Nance. After CZ pleaded guilty to charges of assisting money laundering at his crypto exchange, he was sentenced to 4 months in prison on Tuesday. You possess the resources, the financial capacity, and the manpower to guarantee strict adherence to all rules and regulations. Therefore, you blew that chance. According to a Reuters story, U.S. District Judge Richard Jones handed down a sentence to the former Binance chief that was substantially lighter than the 3 years that federal prosecutors had been pushing for. The hearing took place in a Seattle federal court. 5 months of probation had been requested by the defense. A jail sentence between 12 and 18 months was recommended in the sentencing guidelines. So, if you think about that for 4 months, and the standards say 1,218, I'll let you know. Hey, I mean, taking everything into account. The fact that CZ accepted guilt here makes me feel a certain way, though, so I will say it nonetheless. At this point, it appears that no ill will is there. The scenario here is not Sam Bankman-Fried. The thing is, he acknowledged guilt even if he didn't. So yet, no real Binance customers have suffered any kind of harm, it's not even mentioned here. However, thinking like that is merely kind of humorous. Enter CZ, a former CEO of Binance, yet again. Clearly, he resigned, but this was a far different situation than SBF. That cucumber-loving skank is no stranger to you. Scott, that man is so young. I assume you are all aware of the news. Clearly, that malfunctioned a week or so ago. His sentence is 25 years. It's not insignificant, but I wish you had received a heavier punishment. Quite a bit, actually. Peace remains, however. I apologize. Reuters reports that Zhao informed the judge before to his sentencing. Recognizing the errors in Zhao's alleged statements made earlier in court on Tuesday is, in my opinion, the first step in accepting responsibility. In this area, my anti-money laundering program is inadequate. The gravity of that error has just dawned on me. I can tell you from talking to other crypto enthusiasts on social media site X that this is a hot topic right now. Is this the same photo of CZ holding up 4 fingers that you've seen before? Well, he's sticking up 4 fingers because there's something behind this. Else it's intriguing because, as pointed out by chain analyst Will Clemente on your screen here, he wrote on X by Nance, and Nance gets a 4 billion fine. I'll explain the meaning in just a second here. CZ will spend 4 months behind bars. Here he is, 4-fingered, since that's just his thing, illustrating that we all live in a simulation. The following, therefore, are the interpretations displayed on your screen at this very moment. Interest and currency. One of the many New Year's resolutions issued by Chain Things Out CEO after a tumultuous year in the cryptocurrency markets was to disregard FUD's dread, doubt, and uncertainty as well as fake news and assaults on the financial sector. Attempting to keep 2023 simple and spend more time on fewer things was something CZ stated in a Twitter message he made on the second day of the year. Education, compliance, product, and service were the first 3 items on his list. He then added a 4th, don't, which meant to disregard FUD, false news attacks, etc. He concluded the message by requesting that his followers retweet it in future tweets. The meaning of something is thus conveyed. Plus, the meaning of that slipped my mind. I seem to recall this from more than a year ago, but every time I look at his number 4, I see that he's doing the same thing with his fingers. It's hilarious because he got a 4-month suspension and a fine of about 4 billion for Binance simulation. I mean, it's a complete coincidence, but I'm going to pretend it's true nevertheless. That, or the judge's sense of humor is seriously off the charts. Anyway, let's go into the most recent developments in the Ripple case. With the most recent version to Ripple v. Sequoia, it is SEC's desire for the court to reject Ripple's request to strike. Ripple has asked the SEC to strike Andrea Fox's declaration, but the SEC has moved to deny this request. Updated information from seasoned defense attorney James K. filing indicates that the SEC has opposed Ripple's request to strike. Yesterday, the SEC followed the court's most recent scheduling order and submitted the motion. Ripple moved the court last week to reject the SEC's opening remedy brief and the evidence and testimony that accompanied it. Top SEC accountant Andrea Fox gave the testimony. She had previously given an accounting report on Ripple's financial records. However, Ripple had portrayed Fox as an expert witness, not a summary witness, as the SEC had asserted. Consequently, the cryptocurrency payment provider argued that the SEC ought to have presented her statement during the discovery stage of the robot remedy case. Here, Ripple asserts that the SEC is attempting to pull another fast one. Plus, they are dishonest. In any event, I wouldn't be shocked if this turns out to be true. Now that we're at the remedies stage of this action, though, the implications of this could be particularly consequential. The reason behind this is that, if something was meant to be addressed during the discovery period, which occurs early on in the lawsuit, and it is now being snuck in at the end, it is unfair. What I will say is this. This judge is currently under review by both Judge Nepper and the magistrate judge. Judge Netburn is the one who delivered the severe critique, so I know who to call throughout the lawsuit, Judge Nepper, who is going to examine this judge, and Judge Torres, who judges on everything, as his little assistant. Is that so? Is Flax a law-abiding citizen? If it doesn't smell right, that judge is going to be the one to see it, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's not very lenient with them. But if she or they are attempting to gain additional information by deceiving the SEC, then it would be permissible. She will be able to detect that. Peace remains, however. Although the SEC asserts that Fox is a summary witness, Ripple countered that such witnesses are not permitted to provide further information until discovery is concluded. Therefore, Ripple requested that Sarah Nepper, the magistrate, and Andrea Fox's expert papers be struck. In its most recent brief, the SEC urged the court to reject Ripple's motion, stressing that the firm incorrectly identified Fox as an expert witness rather than a summary witness. In my capacity as a witness providing partial testimony. Neither the study nor Fox's testimony were supported by her specialist experience, according to the regulatory agency. In order to evaluate Annalisa Torres, the report just simplifies the presentation of Ripple's audited financial records, according to the SEC. The regulatory body went on to say that Fox did not offer an opinion on whether or not institutional clients incurred monetary harm as a result of their XRP purchases, instead only following the directions of its legal counsel. The question of whether Fox provides summary or expert testimony is crucial to the case, and this should be noted. Whether the court strikes down Fox's declaration depends on the findings. Well, that concludes our video. Like and subscribe as usual, and feel free to leave a comment with your opinions. Goodbye for now.